Welcome back to Reddit Tales. In today's story, we explore this moment. While introducing me at her birthday dinner, she smirked and said, "Don't get any ideas. You're just temporary." As you listen, notice the exact point where you think the main character should have walked away. My name is Nathan. Looking back, I should have known something was wrong the first time I met her friends. 3 months in, Vanessa finally invited me to meet her core group. Cocktail bar in Tribeca, bottle service, the kind of place where one drink costs more than my weekly groceries. I showed up in my best blazer. Clean, decent, off the rack from Nordstrom. Everyone else looked like they had been styled by a magazine. Connor, Brittany's husband, was the first to ask. "So, Nathan, what do you do?" "Architecture," I said, polite nods. Then, "Which firm?" I named it. "Mid-sized, respected, good projects." "Oh," he said. His smile did not reach his eyes. "I thought you meant one of the big ones." The conversation moved on. I felt like I had failed an exam I did not know I was taking. This was the first test of status, and they made sure he felt it. In the Uber home, Vanessa was quiet. "You were quiet tonight," she said. "I felt like I was being interviewed for a position I never applied for," I said. "What does that mean?" she asked, defensive. "Your friends spent the whole night measuring if I was worth your time based on my resume." "They are just protective," she said. "They have seen me date guys who what?" I asked. "Who had the right credentials." "That is not fair," she said. Then she took my hand. "I like you for you." "Good," I said, "because that is all I have to offer." She kissed me and said, "That is all I want." But that was not true. Not for her and not for the world she wanted to live in. Sometimes people say, "I like you for you," while silently adding, "for now." Month 4, my firm won a small but prestigious design award. In my field, it mattered. It was real recognition. Vanessa posted about it once on her Instagram story. Vague, no tag, no mention of my name. When I asked why, she shrugged. "I do not like mixing personal and professional online." Month 5, we ran into her ex, Preston, at a charity gala. Finance, perfect watch, stories about his Hamptons place, the cliché in human form. Vanessa lit up around him in a way I had not seen in weeks, laughing, touching his arm, hanging on his stories. On the drive home, she was quiet, staring out the window. "What?" I asked. "Nothing," she said, but something between us had shifted. She just did not say it out loud. Month 6, my parents visited the city. I wanted Vanessa to meet them properly. We had dinner at a little place in Queens. My dad talked about his years working at the machine shop. My mom told stories about their first small apartment. They were open, warm, proud of simple things. Vanessa smiled politely and checked her phone every few minutes. Later, she called them sweet in a tone that felt like she was patting a child on the head. By month 7, Preston's name was in every other story. "Preston took me to this restaurant." Preston knew the owner of that gallery. I am not insecure, but I am not blind. When someone keeps bringing up one special person, they are telling you where their mind lives. Then came her birthday. 2 weeks before, she announced she wanted to do something big. I assumed it would be close friends, maybe something separate with her parents, something intimate. She sent me the guest list. 16 people, most I had never met. I looked at the restaurant name, Maria. I Googled it. $300 a person easily. "That is a lot," I said. "It is my birthday," she said. "I only turned 28 once." I am not saying do not celebrate. I am saying maybe somewhere more reasonable. I would love to take you somewhere special. "Just the two of us." "God, you sound like my dad," she said. "Everyone pays for themselves anyway. You can afford one nice dinner, cannot you?" "It is not about affording it," I said. "Then what is it about?" she asked. "It is about you wanting to perform for people instead of just being with me." Her expression went cold. "Not everyone is satisfied with just being, Nathan," she said. "Some of us have standards." That line landed harder than she knew. She did not apologize. This was another red flag, criticizing his values as low standards because they did not match her image. A week before her birthday, I finished her present. I had been working on it for weeks. A custom architectural drawing of the building where we first met. A gallery where we had talked for 3 hours straight. The night she said I was the most interesting person she had met in years. I showed it to my sister, Sophie. "It is beautiful," she said. "She better appreciate this." "She will," I said. She looked at me for a long moment. "Nate, can I ask you something?" she said. "Are you happy?" "What kind of question is that?" I asked. "A real one," she said, "because from the outside it looks like you are trying very hard to make someone happy who does not try back. You do not know her like I do." "Maybe," she said. "Or maybe I see her clearer because I am not in love with her." I did not have an answer. The night of the dinner I arrived at Maria in my best suit. The place was stunning. Floor-to-ceiling windows, ocean murals, dim lighting, everything designed to impress. Vanessa's friends were already there, champagne flowing. She wore a new designer dress, definitely expensive. She kissed me on the cheek, not the lips, and took my wrapped gift without really looking at it. "Oh, just put that on the gift table," she said. There was an actual gift table. Designer shopping bags, Tiffany boxes, Cartier ribbons. My simple wrapped frame looked small next to them. The seating chart told me the truth. Long table, Vanessa at the head. Preston's seat reserved at her right. Brittany and Connor near her. Me, pushed toward the far end between Greg, a drunk husband, and an empty chair. I was not the partner. I was the extra. The first hour felt like a slow drip of disrespect. Greg tried at small talk. "So, architect, that is cool. You design houses." "Commercial buildings mostly," I said. "We just finished a pro." "Yeah, cool," he said, already turning away. Down the table, Madison's voice carried. "Vanessa, remember when Preston took you to Cipriani for your birthday?" "That was so romantic." Vanessa laughed and did not correct her. "God, I miss Preston," Brittany said. "He was a narcissist," Vanessa replied, then she added, "but a rich narcissist." Everyone laughed. My jaw tightened. Connor eventually turned to me. "So, Nathan, what do you drive?" "Honda Accord," I said. "Reliable." Greg clapped my shoulder. "Cannot go wrong with Honda," he said, tone full of condescension. "I just got the new Porsche taken," Connor said. "Electric. 180,000. Why say that out loud like that? Because in this circle, money was part of the language. Vanessa was on her fourth glass of champagne when Preston arrived. "Preston," she practically shouted, standing to hug him. He made his rounds. When he reached me, he said, "Good to see you, man," without really seeing me, then took the empty seat next to Vanessa. I watched them talk. She was animated, touching his arm, laughing too loudly. She had not looked at me in over an hour. Dessert came. Then Brittany stood up, glass raised. "Okay, speech time." She smiled at Vanessa. "I just want to say happy birthday to my best friend who is gorgeous, successful, and way too good for most of the men in this city. She did bring a date tonight, so let us meet him properly." "Nessa, introduce your boyfriend." "Is that what we are calling him?" Vanessa said. She stood, a bit unsteady. "Okay, yes, everyone, this is Nathan." She gestured vaguely down the table. A few people waved. "Nathan is, well, he is my boyfriend." She made air quotes. People laughed. I went very still. "But seriously, Nate," she said, looking at me, smirking, "do not get any ideas, you are just temporary." The table went quiet, not silent, but tense. "Vanessa," Madison said softly. "What?" Vanessa shrugged. "I am being honest." "That is healthy, right? Communication." She glanced at Preston. "I mean, come on, look at him," she said. "He is sweet, he is fine, but he is not exactly," she gestured at Preston, at Connor. "You know, he is not the end game." Brittany tried to laugh it off. "Oh my God, Nessa, you are terrible," she said. "He is like a palate cleanser," Vanessa said, enjoying her own line. "You know when you eat sorbet between courses, that is Nathan, the sorbet between the real meals." A few people gave small, nervous laughs. Ethan, the one friend who seemed grounded, looked horrified. Preston smirked. My face stayed neutral. Inside, something clicked. "What did you call it, Britt?" Vanessa said. "A bridge boyfriend." "That was a joke," Brittany muttered. "Well, it is true," Vanessa said. "He is a bridge from Preston to whoever is next." "God, that sounds mean, but it is not mean if it is true, right, Nate?" She was looking straight at me now, expecting me to play along. Is that what you think I am? I asked, my voice quiet. Oh, do not be sensitive, she said. You knew what this was. No, I said, I really did not. Come on, be honest, she said. Did you really think we were going to get married? You are an architect who drives a Honda. I mean, she gestured at herself at the table at Preston. This was fun. But let us be realistic. The table went dead silent. Ethan put down his fork. Even Brittany looked uncomfortable. I stood up. I did not yell. I did not throw anything. I just reached for my wallet, counted out cash for my meal and drinks, and left a generous tip. I set the money in front of my plate. You are right about one thing, I said. What is that? She asked, suddenly uneasy. I can handle the truth. Nate, sit down, she hissed. You are making a scene. You just called me a palate cleanser in front of 16 people, I said. The scene is already made. I was joking, she said. God, cannot you take a joke? Were you joking when you said I am not the end game, I asked. Or when you called me temporary, or when you asked if anyone at this table really thought we would get married? She had no answer. I looked at the table. Did that sound like a joke to any of you? I asked. Silence. Ethan shook his head. Here is the thing, Vanessa, I said, still calm. You are right. I am not your end game because you do not get to decide my end game anymore. I do. Nathan, wait, she said, panicking. I have spent 8 months trying to be good enough for someone who just announced that I never was and never would be, I said. You just saved me a lot of time. I walked to the gift table and picked up my wrapped frame. I made you something, I said. Spent weeks on it, but you know what? You do not deserve it. Nathan, please, she said, eyes filling. I looked at her one last time. Guess the temporary part just ended, I said. Then I turned to the rest of the table. Enjoy your dinner. I walked out, no rush, no drama, just a simple exit. In the parking garage, I sat in my car for 20 minutes. Hands on the wheel, breathing. I was not crying, I was not shaking. I was just clear. I unwrapped the gift. The drawing really was beautiful. I decided I would keep it. Then I drove to my friend Marcus's apartment. He opened the door, saw my face, and asked, "What happened?" I told him everything, word for word. "Jesus," he said when I finished, "so what are you going to do?" "Nothing," I said. "What is there to do? She said what she thinks. I left. It is done." "She is going to call," he said. "Are you going to answer?" "No," I said. "Not even to hear her out?" he asked. "She called me a palate cleanser in front of her ex and her friends," I said. "What is there to hear? An apology for telling the truth." This is a key turning point. Once you accept that the cruelty was honesty, not an accident, the need for a talk disappears. At 1047 p.m., my phone started ringing. Vanessa, I let it go to voicemail. "She is really not going to stop," Marcus said. "She can talk to the robot," I said. At 1052, she called again. Then again, she left messages. "Nate, hi, it is me. I think we should talk." I was drinking and said some things that came out wrong. You know how I get when I drink. It was supposed to be funny. Everyone was laughing. "Can you call me back, please?" I deleted it without finishing. Later, "Nathan, please, I am sorry. I did not mean you were temporary. I was drunk and stupid and trying to impress people who do not matter. You matter. Please call me back. I can fix this." The pattern was obvious. Public disrespect, private cleanup. I turned my phone face down and went to sleep on Marcus's couch. I slept better than I had in months. By morning there were 23 messages. I did not open them. My sister Sophie called later. "Did Vanessa just call you?" I asked. "Yeah," she said. "I told her to lose my number." "What did she say?" I asked. "That you are overreacting. That it was a misunderstanding," Sophie said. I told her exactly what I think about someone who calls my brother a palate cleanser at a public dinner. She tried the "I was drunk" excuse. "Drunk words are sober thoughts," I said. "That is what I told her," Sophie said. "Are you okay, really?" "Yeah," I said. "I actually am." "Good," she said, "because you deserve someone who is proud to be with you, not someone who treats you like a temporary option until she can upgrade." Over the next week, Vanessa tried everything. Apologetic texts, angry texts, emotional guilt. You are really going to ignore me over a joke. This is childish. We need to talk like adults. She showed up at my apartment when I was not there. She called my office. She sent flowers to my work. I had them sent to the hospital down the street. On day 6, she sent an email with the subject, "Please read this." It was long. She admitted insecurity, her need for approval, how I made her feel safe, how she sabotaged things. "You were never temporary to me," she wrote. "I was a coward." I read it twice. Marcus found me staring at my laptop. "What did it say?" he asked. "Everything I needed to hear 8 months ago," I said. "Nothing I need now." I deleted it. Her consequences came quickly. Ethan stopped answering her calls. He had seen the birthday dinner and wanted no part of it. Madison pulled back. Greg told her the dinner was brutal and he had lost respect for Vanessa. Even Brittany said, "That was really harsh, babe, like really harsh." One of Vanessa's key clients, who had been at the dinner, requested a different account manager. Her boss started questioning her professionalism. Her parents heard about the dinner and cut her allowance. "We did not raise you to be cruel," her mother told her. Vanessa tried to run back to Preston. They met for drinks. He flirted, she let him. She slept with him. The next morning he was gone, leaving a text. "Fun catching up. Let us do it again sometime." Later, Vanessa would tell me that was the moment she understood she had made me feel exactly how he made her feel. Used and replaceable, I did not stay at Marcus's forever. After 2 weeks, I went back to my apartment. My life did not collapse without her. It expanded. Work gave me a major project, a museum renovation. I poured myself into it. I joined a gym. Vanessa had always discouraged it. "Too much time away from me," she used to say. Now it was time invested in myself. I had dinner with my parents and told them everything. "A man who knows his worth does not beg to be valued," my dad said. I took the architectural drawing I had made for Vanessa and redid it. Not the building where we met, but my parents' first apartment building in America, a tribute to real love and real sacrifice. I framed it and hung it in my living room. Month 2, I heard through mutual friends that Vanessa had to move to a smaller apartment. Her job was shaky. Her reputation took a hit. In her circle, she was now the woman who humiliated her boyfriend at her birthday dinner. On a first date, a guy asked her, "Are you the sorbet girl?" She left in tears. Month 3, she texted me, "You have some things here, when can I drop them off?" It was the first message I answered in months. "Leave them with the building manager," I wrote. "Can I bring them to you?" "I would like to talk." "No," I wrote, "leave them with the manager. Please, just 5 minutes." "There is nothing left to say," I wrote. She came anyway. My building manager called. "There is a Vanessa here with a box," he said. "She is asking if you can come down." "Tell her no," I said. "If she does not leave, call security." I watched from my window as she waited in the lobby, then finally left, still holding the box. She was crying. I felt nothing. Not hate, not revenge, just distance. Months later, my museum project opened to the public. My firm was proud. There was an exhibit, renderings, models, people from the industry, my family, my friends. I was standing near one of my drawings, talking to a journalist when I saw her. Vanessa. She hovered near the entrance first, scanning the room, then walked in. When she saw me, she froze, then she walked over. "Hi," she said. "Hi," I answered. "I saw the exhibit was happening," she said. "Your work is beautiful." "Thank you," I said. "How have you been?" she asked. "Good," I said. "Busy." "You should be proud," she said. "I am," I said. She shifted, frustrated with my short answers. "I have been thinking about you," she said. "Okay," I said. "That is it?" she asked. "Just okay. You were with me for 8 months and now you look at me like I am a stranger." "Vanessa," I said, "you called me a palate cleanser at your birthday dinner. What did you expect would happen?" "I expected you would let me apologize," she said. "I have tried for months." "And I heard you," I said. "I read your email. I saw your messages. I just did not respond." "Why?" she asked. "Because an apology does not undo what you said," I said. "It does not change what you actually thought of me in that moment." I do not think that anymore, she said. I was wrong. You were not wrong, I said. You were honest. For the first time in our relationship, you said what you really felt. I'm just sorry it took you getting drunk in front of your friends to say it. That is not fair, she said. People say stupid things when they are drunk. Drunk words are sober thoughts, I said. She sighed. Everyone keeps saying that. Because it is true, I said. You said I was not the end game, that I was temporary, that I am not the kind of man you end up with. You were trying to impress people who, in the end, cared more about their own image than about you. I have changed, she said. I am different now. Maybe, I said, but so am I. I am not the guy who will accept being someone's sorbet anymore. I'm not the guy who waits around hoping to be picked. You were always good enough, she said. Then you should have treated me like it, I said. She started to cry. So that is it, she asked. We are just done. We have been done since your birthday, I said. You just did not realize it because I stopped talking. I love you, she said quietly. No, I said gently. You love the idea of being loved. You do not love me. If you did, you would not have treated me like that when it mattered. I never said you were beneath me, she said. You called me sorbet between real meals, I said. What else would you call that? She had no answer. I hope you find what you are looking for, I said. I really do, but it is not me. I need to get back to my family. I walked away. Behind me, she called my name. I did not turn around. Sophie met my eyes, then glanced back at Vanessa and gave her a cold look. My mom touched my arm. Was that her? She asked. Yeah, I said. Are you okay? She asked. Yeah, I said. I really am. My dad patted my shoulder. Good man, he said. The exhibit went on. I was present, laughing with my family, talking about the work I was proud of. For the first time in a long time, I was not focused on who I was impressing. I was focused on who I actually was. I had not moved on to someone better. I had moved on to myself. Lesson 1: when someone tells you that you are just temporary or a bridge in front of others, believe them the first time. That is not a joke. That is their hierarchy. Lesson 2: public disrespect is not a private problem. If they humiliate you in front of their friends, it is because they feel safe seeing you as less. Lesson 3: an apology after cruelty does not erase the fact that, in the moment that counted, they chose status and ego over your dignity. Lesson 4: you are allowed to end a relationship without giving more chances, more explanations, or more closure, especially when someone has already closed the door on your worth. Lesson 5: being with someone who is proud of you is not a luxury. It is a basic requirement for a healthy relationship. Lesson 6: walking away from a place where you are treated as temporary is not losing love. It is making space for real love, starting with your own. What about you? At what point in this story would you have left? When she kept talking about her ex, when she placed him at the far end of the table, or only when she called him a palate cleanser in front of everyone? Have you ever stayed with someone who made you feel like a temporary option until they could do better? How did you finally decide to end it?